Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about calories. Now as a fitness coach, this is probably the most common questions that I always get asked. How many calories I should eat per day, how many grams of protein I should eat, are carbs actually going to make me fat, and does fat mean fat? Let's get into it in this video. So why do we even need to know what our calorie and macro intake is? Well, if you're someone who has any fitness goals, be that if you want to drop a bit of body fat, you want to put on some size, or even if you're just happy with the physique that you have and you want to maintain that look, knowing what your daily calorie / macro intake is going to be so important, because this is going to determine whether you lose body fat, you build muscle, or you maintain the look that you actually want. So the first thing we need to do is search up online TDEE calculator. This here is your total daily energy expenditure, which is going to be a rough guidance to what your maintenance calories actually is. Another way to do this here would be, if you're a female, just to multiply your current body weight in pounds by either 13 or 14. And if you're a male, multiply your body weight in pounds again by 15 or 16. This will spit out what our rough maintenance calories is. Now make sure to keep in mind that this here is only a rough estimate of what your maintenance calories could be, because other factors such as your occupation, your training routine will affect the amount of calories that you burn on a daily basis. Say for example, you're someone who works an office job Monday to Friday, working 9 to 5. You don't do any resistance training outside of work, and you don't play any football. Your maintenance calories is going to be completely different to someone who, say, works on site Monday to Friday, working a fairly laboursome job 8 to 6. They might play football in the evenings and they go to the gym 3 to 4 times per week. You two get spit out the exact same maintenance calories from this here method, but obviously your maintenance is going to be completely different, because his expenditure is a lot more than his expenditure. So what you want to do next is take the amount of calories that you were given from this method and start eating those calories every single day for the next 7 to 14 days. Over this time, I want you to weigh yourself every single morning, and then at the end, divide your weight by the amount of days that you've done it by. So say for example, you've done it by 7 days, divide it by 7, or if you've done it by 14, divide it by 14. And if your average weight is the exact same or very close to the same weight that you began with, this here is going to be your maintenance calories. Now I know this can be a bit tedious, but you only have to do it once. Once you figure it out, it's going to make your life so much more simpler. So just take that bit of time and get it done. So now that we have our maintenance calories, the next thing we need to look at is what your goal is. So if you want to drop body fat, we're going to look at the studies, and the study suggests that we want to be dropping anywhere between 200 to 500 calories at the beginning to get ourselves into what is known as a calorie deficit. So how a calorie deficit works is your body has your maintenance calories right there, and if you drop down to say 500 calories below your maintenance, your body still needs to get that energy from somewhere to get back up to your maintenance. So where does it get this energy from? Your body gets this energy from stored fat cells. You know those love handles we all have? That there is a stored fat cell. So your body needs to make up the difference from your calorie deficit to your maintenance. So it utilizes those stored fat cells to make up that difference, therefore creating a calorie deficit, which means you're going to drop weight and lose body fat. On the other hand, if you wanted to add muscle to your frame, studies suggest as well that you go between a 200 to 500 calorie surplus to begin off with. And the way to track this here, if you're gaining anywhere between 0.2 to 0.4 kg per week, you're on the right path. If it's staying level throughout the week, pump up your calories by another 1 to 200. Now the next thing we need to understand is calories. A calorie isn't just a calorie, it's broken down into 3 different macronutrients. We have proteins, carbs and fats. And the best way to look at these macronutrients are like this. Protein is our body's building blocks. It helps build and repair our muscles, our skin and our hair. Carbs are the body's main source of energy, and fats are a body supporter. It helps support hormones, brain health, and helps absorb vitamins. We can break it down even further and look at the body as a car. So proteins are going to be the structure of the car, so that's going to tell you how strong the car is going to be. Carbs are going to be the fuel for the car, so again, that's going to show you how far you can actually go. And fats are going to be the oil for the car, so that's going to make sure that everything is running smooth and nicely. Now, this here is the most important thing. How many calories are actually in macros? So 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories. And 1 gram of fats has 9 calories. What we need to understand now is how many grams of each macronutrient we should be having. So for protein, you want to be averaging at least 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So what do I mean by ideal body weight? This here should be your goal body weight, or the body weight that you think you'll be looking your leanest at. So say for example, you're someone who's currently weighing 250 pounds, but your ideal body weight would be 180 pounds. I'd recommend you'd eat 180 grams of protein, because eating 250 grams of protein is unnecessary. It's a high amount of protein and it's extra calories that we don't want to be having in our system. So eat the 180 and this will keep you going. For your fat intake, you want to make sure you're averaging between 0.3 to 0.4 grams of fat per pound of ideal body weight. So if you're someone who's weighing 180 pounds, ideally you should want to fall between that 54 to 72 gram of fat per day average. This is going to make sure that we're at our baseline for fats, making sure hormonal balance is going to be good, our body's going to be absorbing our vitamins, and is good for brain health. And lastly, for the carbs, this just depends on what calories are left over. So the amount of calories that are left over, depending on your goal, whether you're in a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus, will be made up through the carbohydrates. So we'll just break this down now for an example of someone who's wanting to lose weight. So for the 180 pound example that we used there, his maintenance calories is going to be 2,500. And if we're to break that down, his protein intake per day is going to be 180 grams of protein. So we multiply that by 4, which gives us 720 calories. Then for the fats, I use the baseline fats for this here maintenance period. So that's going to be 54 grams of fats multiplied by 9, which is 486 calories. Then when you add the protein and fat calories together and take them away from the maintenance calories of 2,500, this gives us a remaining balance of calories of 1,294. Now if you divide that by 4, this will give you the amount of carbohydrates that we can have, which is 301 carbs per day. So if he wants to cut down and lose weight, he'll remove 500 calories from his maintenance, and this here will be the macronutrients that he'll follow. Ideally, you want to pull off the calories from your carbohydrate, keeping your proteins and your fats the exact same. And when he wants to go and put on some size, add a bit of weight, he puts on 300 calories to his maintenance, ideally in the form of fats and then carbohydrates. So bring your fats up to the higher end, multiplying it by 0.4 grams per pound of body weight. This here will take him up to this level of fats, and then thereafter he can bring up the carbs again, because fats are just going to digest that wee bit easier, especially when you're in a gaining phase. You want to make sure that the food is digesting well. Now hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you made it to the end, thank you. If you didn't, well, there's not much I can actually say because you're not actually here. So for the ones who are still here, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.